Corelli. This time, last time out, we were behind closed doors, as Zach said. But now we're here at Rotterdam. Rotterdam, how excited are we to be here?
The vibes, immaculate, here for the first match in front of the crowd. The Club and Space Station Gaming to face off in game number 1.
The arena is packed, the players are ready, and a man who's been quiet so far this tournament springs to life immediately.
This is the guy you gotta get going for Space Station. You've seen how well Daniel's played throughout this tournament so far, and to get LJ on the board first in 3 seconds is a dream start for Space Station.
Space Station Gaming and kickoff goals. Name a better duo. This time they'll be pleased are on the right side of it, but Bems takes an attempt at a flip reset. LJ's getting involved again. And Corelli, he really is the player that we've needed to see stepping up for Space Station Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the desk talked about what Arsenal needs to do. He's talked about what LJ needs to do. He talked about what Daniel's done here for Space Station. And again, with that 1-0 lead here early, is a great start for them. Again, this matchup we've seen before in the wildcard last season. Space Station came out on top in 4-2 fashion.
They did indeed, and both these teams were one series away from making it to the top 8. That was at the World Championship, so a victory here in this best of 5 is about par. But obviously both these teams will have more in mind than that. They'll want to go all the way, make it to that grand finals, put their name on the beautiful new trophy that we've got. But you have to begin it here. These teams battling just to stay alive in this Swiss. 1 and 2, you see it at the top of your screen. And it's Space Station Gaming that have started this first game slightly better.
The desk talks about how physical these two teams can be. But there is one constant for the Club, the backbone of the team. Bems backing up Astromik and Lost defensively. You're going to see a lot of Lost, a lot of Astromik throwing themselves downfield. They like to be on top of the ball. Space Station's going to have to respond to that.
Well, here comes Astromik trying to get it towards Lost, his compatriots. But Daniel takes it away. Now he's got some control of the ball. He gets the flip reset, of course he does. This man who came pretty much out of nowhere as a 15-year-old and was so pivotal for Space Station Gaming at the Winter Major, where they finished in the top 3. But it's Arsenal, the old boy, and look at the reaction from him.
The pop-off from Arsenal, and you need that energy going into this game. And what a start from Space Station here. They get the goal in the first 3 seconds. They've controlled a lot of the pace of the game here so far. They get their second. Plenty of time left on the clock here for the Club, but not a good start for them as Space Station starting to take over.
60% of the Twitch chat thought that Space Station Gaming were favorites here. So far they're being proved right, but Bems, he's not just a defender. He's coming forward with a flip reset of his own. LJ comes forward again. Arsenal's been found. LJ's getting all sorts of involved. He fakes that loss almost. So near yet so far. But that land confidence is beginning to shine.
Speaking of confidence, Space Station so confident when they score their first goal. An 85% win rate walking into this land when they get the first goal in a game. Sitting now 2-0. Club trying to go against the odds here in game number 1.
What I'm sure they'll find most satisfying so far, though, is that number at the top next to the Club. The clean sheet that Space Station Gaming are not just hanging on to, they're defending from the front, getting on all the attacks, controlling everything about this game. Daniel's barely been involved as well. You know, the criticism that Space Station have had is that Daniel's had to do too much, but he's the only one who hasn't scored. However, there is a chance. Now for Lost, it was a very fast shot. It didn't go in.
And you see good pressure here from the Club. Presence in the final third. They need to put more dangerous shots on target. The possession's good, though. For Bems here to clean things up if he can get the challenge over Arsenal. Now Astromik. No boost, but he has a lot of space. Gives it back to Bems. Took too long to get to the touch. And Space Station now on the counter. Arsenal tried to whip that one on target and goes wide.
The Club actually out-shooting Space Station so far, but the difference is the actual quality of shots that Space Station have had has been so much higher. The Club seem in danger every time Space Station come forward, whereas the Club, the shots are weak, they're easily saved. There's not too much issue for Space Station to deal with them.
5 shots from the Club, 5 saves. They get 6 shots and 6 saves. Arsenal, there's the demo from Daniel. The net wide open. Arsenal makes it 3 for Space Station.
3 different types of goals for Space Station as well. First off the kickoff, then it was just a grind and play, and then the classic SSG move, a demo, opening up all the space in the world, and Arsenal has the open goal from his own half. Things are really working for SSG right now.
This is a fantastic start for Space Station. They came out a little wobbly in their first matchup against Falcons. They came out on top in 5. They lost to K-Corp, they lost to Team Secret. They didn't think they were going to be in this position, but in game one, they're looking dominant here over the club.
You can see why most people were predicting the club to win this one. I mean, if Team Secret, second in South America, can beat Space Station, surely a team that's won every regional, including, lest we forget, going undefeated in games in that second regional in South American Rocket League, they could beat Space Station too, but so far that's not how it's working out. Just struggling to deal with the way Space Station Gaming played, not able to figure out the fakes. Just about getting that one away again, but it's almost 4.
And I like that decision-making there from LJ, not taking that tackle as the last man. They slow down the attack. Astromik, can he put this one away on the right side? But Arsenal there to make the save, and Space Station here to slow things down, take the challenges, take time off the clock.
That's 7 saves so far for Space Station, but that was the pick of the bunch. I thought for all the world that that one was going to nestle home. But somehow SSG keep it out. A team who've been criticized for their defending. Now that pre-jumps are coming in, Arsenal off the cross. It's another shot, shooting shots. Daniel is almost teeing up his teammate to put that one away. Lost brings it back, but right now it just seems the club, they're hoping to bring something into game 2. Space Station Gaming could pretty much call this first one their own. Can they keep the clean streak though? No, they can't. The club have built some momentum going into the second.
And finally breaking through here for the club. They have 8 shots to their name, and Space Station have made 7 saves. This time, finally, putting one on the board, and with 7 seconds left, not a lot of hope here in game 1, but some confidence going into game 2.
And that's so important. Both these teams have had disappointing third series in the Swiss. There was the 1-3 against Secret for SSG, but the 1-3 against Power for the club. That was a really poor performance from them. They would have been very disappointed. And so far, they'll be disappointed in this one too.
Not the start if you're the club against Space Station. And Space Station's one of those teams where if you give them just a little bit of an inch, they will take a mile. They will run you over in games. And I think a lot of teams here at this major have done a great job of slowing down Space Station. That's why I think they're sitting at this 1-2 mark. And granted, playing K-Corp is definitely not a matchup that you want, but I talked to Chrome before getting into this matchup, and he thinks that all their losses that they've had, they were absolutely winnable for Space Station. They just didn't come out on top.
I think as well that Space Station, they were being talked about on the desk, saying that, you know, they have to take game 1 well. They have to be impressive at the start, because if things start to go wrong for this version of SSG, they can tilt out, you know, they can just get in their own heads and go a little bit quiet. So that first game, doubly important for them.
Yeah, again, this is a good look for Space Station. We talked about how some of their games have been not the best looks from them. They looked a little shaky. It seemed to be just the Daniel show in a lot of these games. This time you saw Arsenal step up a little bit. You saw LJ getting involved early on. That's important for Space Station. When it's not just the Daniel show, Space Station look a lot better.
Well, lost Bems and Astromik barely got a sniff in that first game. A couple of chances towards the end, and that potentially all-important goal to settle those nerves. Can they take that into Aquadome? Space Station Gaming will be hoping not. There's Arsenal sending that one high from the off. Look how much time he has in the air, Corelli. He should not be afforded that much space.
And the club, I mean, we've seen them all too often throw bodies at the ball. But now backed up here against Space Station. And that shot saved by Astromik. Now lost, has a 1v1 against Arsenal. But with no boost, he can't catch up to it. And a great challenge from Arsenal to deny.
Daniel's going to be able to send this one away easily. And the flip reset once more. The demo this one comes in from the club. But Daniel, some jukes and hijinks, feeds it through.
How did he get away with that? He gets the first flip reset. He gets another and uses it, but doesn't come out with the touch. And I think the club were just thrown off.
Tripping over each other's feet right now, the club in defense. The last thing they want to do is keep giving Space Station early goals. They have to respond fast. Astromik tries to get that happening. Bems is coming in, slows down just for a second, perhaps realizing they have to change the pace because Space Station are reading all they're putting out there. But again, the ball falls to an SSG player. Here's LJ, passing around Astromik, still has it for himself. Arsenal's in the center, it could be 2, maybe it should be 2. Daniel might be able to fix that, but it's closed down. SSG looking more likely for the second.
Great touch there from Bems to deny Space Station the extended attack. Arsenal's just trying to look for a challenge here in the corner. Space Station rolling here in game 2. The club have been backed up, and as you were mentioning earlier, Cole, it's not something they're used to. They've been dominant this split so far in their own region. The desk clearly believed in them. But right now, Space Station controlling this game.
LJ's shot didn't quite go in, but what it did do was drag 2 club defenders away, and they still haven't quite recovered. Lost just guess that second or two. Astromik is going for LJ, but LJ pre-jumps does brilliantly. He seems to be the player that's waking up for Space Station right now.
We mentioned the physical game and how important it is for both these teams. And Space Station right now being the smarter team, dodging those demos, dodging the bumps. And without it, the club looked very lackluster on offense.
That change here, Astromix to the backboard. Daniel's just going to send it away. There's never a follow-up from a club player. They must be getting frustrated that all these passes are going to nowhere. There's so much open space in front of them. But they can't put the ball into the place where they want to aim for. Sends it to the center. Again, it's Arsenal that it falls to. Lost has at least managed to force a decent challenge into the corner, so Space Station Gaming pinned back at least for now in their own half. Ems is coming in. The club are turning to each other, looking for someone to shake things up, and so far no one's stepping up to the call. Maybe now. LJ's missed. Daniel gets it to the side, but manages to keep the ball out.
You can see the club trying to constrict this Space Station squad, and they're doing a good job of holding that midfield line. Daniel, this touch getting out in front of him, and Astromix trying to bring it down. The club trying to put something together, but here comes Space Station. Arsenal finding the angle. Bems denies. And still Space Station holding on to their 1-goal lead.
Space Station showed consistency in the qualifiers to be here. 3 semi-finals appearances and 3 4-1 losses. So we know that they're capable of making it through Swiss, and it's that reliability that seems to be their best weapon so far. Just keeping the club at arm's length, not allowing them to use that pace, to use that speed against them. And when they come forward again, Daniel is just starting to open up himself. So even more signs of danger for the club. But this could be one for Space Station. This Arsenal can't do anything. The club equalize.
And you can see this one materialize. The second loss takes it into the air. You see Astromix deep on the Space Station half, and a good dunk there from Lost. Puts that one away. The chase into the net. We're tied up.
The game has life. We do have a club equalizer, and they have to build upon it. Remember, this is one of the fastest teams in the world. So far, Space Station have dealt with it so simply, but that might change. Lost tries to get it past an opponent again. Not quite this time. Arsenal showing his own pace, but Bems is aware of that. That's his job on this team. Get the ball to Lost, get the ball to Astromix. Let them do their work. Lost is almost in there. Astromix is, but it's saved by Daniel.
A gift there from Space Station. Another one goes wide. You can see the club, again, spending a lot of time now in the final third. And Space Station just having to boom it downfield to buy themselves some space. And they almost won it back there. LJ cutting across. Lost wants the pinch, and he'll find it. Still looking for more space, but it's LJ there to slow this one down. Just over a minute now in game 2. Space Station trying to put the club on match point here. LJ past one, shot goes high, looking for follow-up, and Lost was there.
Space Station have done great just to make sure that they don't throw anything away after conceding that goal, when it did seem like there'd be a moment or two of club dominance. Space Station managed to suppress that, at least for a little while. Now Arsenal comes forward. LJ's in there again. He's desperate for the ball today. He's woken up with just a pure desire to play some Rocket League. 40 seconds left. This one's nervy.
Daniel denied again. The club trying to move up their line. It's a good demo there on LJ. LJ gets Astromix back, coming off the spawn now. Lost on the back wall, won't make it.
Great decision from Lost there not to go for the ball. Arsenal was trying to tempt him in, just to prod it past him. But at this point in the game, you don't want to make that mistake and leave your goal completely open. That could have been the case. Instead, we have some more 50-50 play. LJ into the corner. Looking like we're settling towards an overtime.
Tension building here in game 2, final seconds. Space Station gets a demo. Looking for the opportunity, and it will go to overtime. It almost sneaked up the wall there. 1-1 here in game 2, and the first overtime of the day.
The first overtime of the day, the first overtime in front of this lovely crowd as well. Next goal wins, everybody. Lost tries to get it going for his team. Arsenal's in the air. LJ helping him out. He's always having to go back. This is so dangerous for the club. Danger signs everywhere. Arsenal to get the flip reset will just try and put it into the center. He does! LJ had a real chance, but he couldn't quite connect.
Arsenal with 5 OT winners this split so far. Daniel going backwards into this one, doesn't come out with it. Arsenal there to bail him out. Opportunity now for Space Station, but Arsenal had no boost. And the club trying to get their offense going again. It looked good halfway through game 2. It started to sputter out, but maybe a second touch from Lost, it'll go wide.
Those are the sort of chances that Lost has been sinking all season. He'll be disappointed that one didn't go into the back of the net. A true chance at this level. Space Station get away with it. And look how close they all are to the ball. They need this challenge from Arsenal to be good. It was. Bought them a few seconds, but there's still a little bit of danger until LJ gets rid of it. Exactly what was needed.
Big sweeper roll here for LJ. Now Daniel wants a double tap. He's going to put it wide. Off the post. Arsenal there to follow up. But LJ's clears have been crucial for Space Station to get out.
They've both missed double taps that you'd expect them to get now, so a chance for
He's through!
No one's there with Lost. Lost puts through the easiest finish he's going to get in his career.
LJ gets beat so easy, and then Bems beats Daniel to the corner. It's wide open at this point, and Lost has a tap in.
With 10 seconds left, Lost was on the backboard, and he made the decision not to be stuck in by Arsenal. In overtime, Daniel didn't do the same thing. He dived in, didn't have that same level of composure, and that's why SSG were punished. That guy's wearing a banana suit, what a legend.
And he looks good here, and right now the club coming back into this series. And I think, you know, especially in that last few moments there where the game ended, it felt like Space Station, as you said, really lost composure there. Two players diving into it. Daniel didn't have the best look at the challenge, but for LJ to dive in so quickly and for it to look so easy there for the club, I think Space Station had made a lot of the chances here for the club hard. This was the easiest look they've had here in this series.
And at the perfect time as well. It's exactly when you want an open goal in overtime, when you can gallop towards the ball and know you're going to score it as soon as you connect. What better way to settle the nerves? And what better for the club than Lost getting the 2 goals, because he is the chaos merchant of the team. He wants to be that first man forward. He wants to always be as close to the ball as possible. So him being on the net is just going to be a shot in the arm for his mentality.
And remember, this is still a best of 5. And loser goes home here. Both teams sitting at 1-2 in round 4 of the Swiss stage.
No room for error from this point forward. A massive third game. It could be an early start for the club as Stromic tries to slow things down for a second. Space Station dealt with that one, though.
See if Space Station can regain composure here. This one will find the back wall. Stromic doesn't come out with it. Arsenal wanted to play that one back to LJ. I think got away from him. Now Lost, trying to take a couple challenges. The club trying to set something up early. Double tap Ben. Denied by Arsenal.
Arsenal, a great save. Good defending. Stromic, though, is going to keep on coming. Lost is already pre-jumping.
Oh, my goodness!
Talking about Lost gets it. Lost thinks it is 1-0 club.
My God, Lost! He read the mind of his own teammate. As Stromic, that is beautiful from the club.
Isn't it amazing what 1 goal can do, Corelli? You know, you get that overtime, and suddenly the pre-jumps are back. Suddenly you're playing like the team who's gone unbeaten in your region. Huge play from the club. Space Station Gaming looking rattled. They have to stay alive for the next 30 seconds or so.
And the best part is about that goal, that's what they've been doing all season in their own region. Setting each other up like that. Reading each other's minds, being on the same plays. Here comes Lost again. It looks like he's going for a bump instead of the ball. No one challenging there from Space Station. And Space Station there to clear it away. Now sitting behind the club, going down first here in game 3.
Look how rapid they are now. They're starting to believe the club. Meeting Space Station, beating Space Station, in fact, every single ball Lost, he's the one that it falls to. First man forward as he loves to be. Space Station doing all they can just to send that ball away. They're going to have to do some defending for another couple of minutes or so, it would seem. Counter-attacking play is their best option. Lovely touch from Daniel, though.
Wow.
That's what you need from Daniel. This can go all the way to the other side if he gets the hook in. He gets it over the top.
Oh, no way.
He's so
good.
Who fixed it? Daniel is unbelievable.
That is insane from Daniel. And he had 11 boost here, gets Bems to dive in, and then forces it to the net. LJ there to clean it all up. But that first touch from Daniel was what bought him all that space. You can even see Club, they had to throw the brakes on. They didn't expect him to control it so well.
How does he have such good vision through that long hair? It makes no sense to me.
Certainly playing at a different level here for Space Station through all of their games, even the ones that they've lost here. He has been a shining star for Space Station ever since he joined. They're here to tie it up in game 3.
He's one of those players, and North America's got a few of them, that when he's on the pitch, you can never count out his team because all of a sudden it's Space Station that are hitting every single ball. Look at Daniel, look at the space he's being afforded, and the extra touch, just gets the bump as well. Demo's flying in, Arsenal's got a foot race here with a Stromic. LJ makes a good choice, nips in, sets up Daniel, he's feeling it, he's hot as anything. Bems gets it away, now it's the club on the ropes.
It's like Daniel against the club right now, and a lot of support coming in from Arsenal and LJ, throwing in demos, keeping it awkward on the club side. That's a great flip reset from Lost, and easily controlled there from Daniel.
Last time Daniel controlled the ball there, he ended up setting up an amazing goal for his team, so the club can't be too suckered in when they're on the attack. But now they are on the attack again, Stromic wants to get that second touch past LJ. It's a challenge. Daniel is being afforded so much more space now. Look at them, they know what he's capable of.
And they've just let Daniel off the chain here. LJ with so much space, and you've mentioned it a couple times now, the club cannot afford the midfield to Space Station. You've seen what Daniel can do. And they still have Arsenal and LJ in the wings if they have the opportunity. Here's Arsenal, won't get by Astromik. Daniel to the ceiling, back to himself, denied there by Lost. Great challenge from the club to just stop the attack from Space Station immediately.
I think it's got to be said though, that time the touch from Daniel was maybe a bit heavy, perhaps should have kept it to himself because I think it was Lost, had already made the pre-jump, shown his hand. It's a better idea into the sense, but once again the club reading it. We've achieved some balance again in this game when first it was all the clubs, then it was Space Stations after that moment of Daniel magic. Now it's a really intriguing point in the series. The next goal could just swing this entire matchup one way or the next. And all these players are capable of forcing it in any second.
It seems like since Space Station scored, tension went up just a little bit here. A little bit more conservative from both sides. Arsenal, space to work with. Bems, beat to the back wall, Lost there to bail him out.
Good two-player defensive strategy there from the club. One goes, the other stays high. Should be able to get the ball away, but LJ keeps it coming for Space Station. Gets a good second touch. It's going to fall to no one this time. Lost is being just nibbled at by Arsenal. Not letting him get away. That's what Arsenal does best. And now they're getting in their own way, the club. Just about manages to get it away, but Lost for a second. Looked like he put his teammate off.
Space Station just trying to control the game now. A free one off the back wall. It's Daniel, doesn't get the best touch. And a good clear here from the club. They were feeling a lot of pressure from Space Station.
A few more disappointing double tap attempts. One of these is going to be sunk at some point soon by one of these teams. Daniel, this could be the moment! There it is right there!
How did you see that?
Before, not happening again.
How did you see that coming? Arsenal with a great flip reset, and Daniel, he's going to put it away every single time. I mean, come on.
There was just a giant bullseye painted above the goal. And Daniel was like, yep, I'll whack it in the center there. I'll follow it up, sink it home like I do a million times in a row in free play. But now, 30 seconds left for the club to get back into this one. They do not want to have to win 2 games in a row just to stay alive. Almost equalizing straight away.
Still an opportunity here for the club. Bems using all of his boost to get to this one. Lost, looking for any space, but no control. Astromik was able to win the challenge, and LJ having to dodge a couple demo attempts. 10 seconds left on the clock, and Arsenal, a fantastic flick down the field.
Launching it. Chase that one, Space Station players. Send it right back to us, the club. We can defend for 2 seconds. What the club do not want is the ball on the floor.
Boost.
Now it's in the air where they want it. They do have boost in the tank. There's a fake, it's not worked. It's been read by SSG, and they go within 1 of surviving in the Swiss.
And I mean, what can you say? Cole, you look at this game, Daniel took over offensively, and you have to give credit to LJ and Arsenal because they did support him. A lot of bump attempts, demos coming out from them, and overall support defensively to let Daniel go down the field. But we've seen this, I think, in multiple series now from Space Station, where Daniel takes it over offensively, and he has been so efficient. He has converted so many of these chances, even chances where players are in the air and getting in his way. He's still able to put that double tap away that he did. He's still able to bring the ball down on his own side and dribble it all the way down the field. You just can't give him that space because he has taken advantage every time.
And it's not just mechanics as well. Space Station have done exceptionally well to identify the fact that the club were leaving a lot of space on their backboard. That's how I had a feeling that was happening. It just seemed likely that any second they were going to be punished for it. And that's what happened right there. The crowd are loving it. Are the club loving it right now? Do you reckon they're going into this 4th game thinking, yeah, we're playing really well?
I think this was a better game, but still looking very shaky. They're not able to execute their game plan. They're not getting the bumps. They're not getting the demos. You're not seeing Astromik and Lost be that deadly duo, that tandem throughout a game. Oh. Here's one over to Arsenal, speaking of duos. As LJ, can he put it away? Lost, a fantastic save on the goal line.
Excellent play from Lost there. Not just to get the first save, but to keep it going. Almost teased up a counter-attack for his team. But now Space Station with the confidence to go for those pre-jumps. LJ involved yet again. He gets a challenge against Lost. Daniel's coming in. That ball goes all the way back to Space Station. A rip-roaring start. We remain 0-0.
Comeback win there for Space Station in the previous game. Only 37% of the time they win when they lose, or when they give up the first goal. So against the odds there for Space Station here on land, on a big stage, when the backs are against the wall. Astromik now trying to put on the pressure here for the club. They've got to get their offense going. Lost, space to work with here. Flip reset inbound and tried to get under LJ. And he's not phased by that attack.
Astromik is just waiting, hoping he could have his chance, but LJ says no to that. puts pay to it by crunching into a classic SSG demo. And now they come forward. Astromic, another decent save. And the second touch too. Lost is in here if he can get this next touch. Daniel charges in, takes it away from him. SSG just got Arsenal away club chances right now. Arsenal, he couldn't make up his mind whether to stay for the pass or open up space. In the end, he just about chose wrong.
I think Arsenal just didn't get the touch. Now Lost, no boost, denied by LJ again. He has been a rock for Space Station defensively. Been the last man. Here he is again, coming up big against Lost. An interesting role for LJ here on Space Station in this series.
And Arsenal, Space Station, despite the pressure against them, they are keeping a lot of boost. If you keep an eye on the top right, you'll see they normally have at least 2 players above the 50 boost mark, which is how they're managing to deal with all this pressure. Right now, though, they are a little bit starved, but that touch, that launch forward doesn't look important, but that'll give them such a huge sigh of relief.
A lot of half chances coming out for the club.
Starved again.
Shots just not on target. And of course, LJ, he's been massive here so far. The only saves for Space Station in Game 4 now. He's been rotating into this last man position so many times. Now he's taken out of the play. Opportunity is Astromic also trying to get touches. And here comes Lost. Denied by Daniel. It almost looked open until Daniel shut it down.
An abundance of good play in one moment. First the touch, but then the save was excellent. Thought for sure it was going in, and this is an important 50-50. LJ falls to Astromic. Daniel's in the air. That's not what you want to see if you play for the club. Lost just gets rid of that ball. Priority number 1, 2, and 3. The flip reset with the cherry on top. Can't quite get it, so Space Station continue to attack. Bems can slow things down. Running out of boost though, Space Station now are the ones who have control of the resource. It's coming in, Arsenal's there, but Lost was aware.
Good patience there from Lost. You still want the club to send someone there on that challenge. Now Daniel, he's free. No one's there to challenge him. Can he get the double tap into Astromic using all of his boost to deny Daniel on the back wall?
They always seem to be chasing though when Space Station go for those double taps. They have to be slightly more aware of the club. It works out that time. Bems and Lost getting each other's way. That's not what you want to see. They've wasted so much boost there. Space Station almost get it on target. It's just about put wide by Astromic. Lost yet again. Lets the ball bounce over him, but this time it's met by Arsenal. A flip reset could be devastating. Lost coming in. The club bumping each other again on defense. The communication has got to be better.
You can see Space Station taking advantage of the space afforded to him. The club, as you're saying, not communicating as much as you'd like. Lost, the only goal scorer here for the club. He's put up all 4 goals for him. You look to him to step up once more here in Game 4. Quality challenge again coming out from Arsenal. The club just trying to hold on to the ball on their own side, but you can see Space Station players diving at it. That one cleared back to the Space Station side.
I feel like it's just brewing right now for Space Station, but one moment of genius for the club can change that. And they've certainly got it in their locker, especially as you say, Corelli, the man we're seeing now Lost. First he has to defend against Arsenal. He loves the musty flicks. That one goes a little bit too far. And a challenge from Space Station. We've seen that a few times. They're diving in and the ball's just rolling back.
It's twice in a row, actually, for Space Station, just taking some poor challenges, and it pinches back to their own side. Arsenal. Now LJ cuts by 1. Just over 30 seconds left. Space Station trying to take a late goal here. Arsenal to the far side. It's off the post. Daniel there to finish. Space Station with 31 seconds left in the lead.
When Space Station was struggling, it was Daniel that dragged them forward with his own little mechanical moment. This time, his teammates did the work for him. They opened the door and he just stepped through. And now the club are 31 seconds away from going out at stage 4 of the Swiss.
Round 5 within the sight of Space Station. The club trying to have something to say about it, but here comes Daniel again, uncontested. Can he bring this one down? He almost got through Astromic. LJ looking for the back wall. Club, it's getting dicey here. 10 seconds left on the clock.
What can the club fashion? Is Astromic. He sends it high towards Lost. How he'd love a 5th goal, but it's Daniel. He's dancing in the air. Maybe dancing on the club's grave to the 2nd, but it's safe for now. LJ's coming in. The ball stays high. One more chance perhaps. But he's taken out. A demo to end it all. One more out for a Space Station victory. They survive in the Swiss. They'll go to the deciding series, and the club are gonna have to go home.
It's a new day for Space Station, and they look so much better here. And the club, we have to send home. The #1 seed coming out from South America can't get the job done again against Space Station. We talked about it earlier. They played in the wild card. They fell 2-4 against Space Station here, dropping this series again.
And it wasn't a flawless performance from Space Station. There's still a lot they can improve. They did over-rely on Daniel, particularly in the middle of the game. He's the one who had to grab them by the scruff of the neck, but all three of them were definitely contributing.
It's a tightrope to walk. I mean, he's their star player, and you need your star player to show up. Is that relying on him, or is that your star player, you know, taking what he's supposed to be doing on this team? That's kind of the argument here for Space Station. In some of the games, they really haven't looked good, and it was only Daniel. I think here, LJ and Arsenal performed their roles to a T. They looked a lot better against the club, and they go to a round 5.
You can see the anguish on the club right now. It always hurts, no matter how close you get, how good or bad you play, going out in the middle of the LAN among this crowd. It's pure pain for these players.
And you never want to see them go home, not like this. But we have to, and for the club, what a great start to the season for them, dominating their region. Coming out here in a valiant performance here against Space Station. I'm sure they'll be back.
Well, they're applauded by the crowd as they walk off. That's what we want to see. It's not just about the winners, it's about the losers as well. A round of applause for the club. So entertaining, such a brilliant way of playing. They'll be back, no doubt, for the next major in winter. A great, great performance from them, but Space Station just had a little bit too much on the day. And I'm turning around, and I'm seeing Leaf on the stage with Arsenal, the first goal scorer from SSG.
That's right, give it up again for Space Station Gaming and Arsenal. First off, I gotta say, I missed all of you. You guys are killing it right now. Good stuff, good stuff. Arsenal, how do you deal with this? Because this is loudness.
I'm not gonna lie, the crowd always makes me play better. Like, I love hearing everyone get loud when I score like an open net, or even miss open net when we get a goal. It just makes me feel really good.
If you could play with your headset off to hear them louder, would you do it?
No, because if I get scored on, they're gonna be loud again, and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, obviously, you guys had a bit of a rough outing getting to this point. You're still here, and you're still moving on. But can you break down maybe what was going on, and have you guys figured that out? Is things looking smoother from here on out?
Yeah, I think it was just kind of felt like a warm-up. The crowd, I feel like we played better under the crowd. We were like doing passing plays and, you know, just doing stuff we didn't normally do in the studio. But yeah.
Can you give us a little insight on more of like what the focus specifically was? Even if it's not just the gameplay, but even if it's the mental, what was the focus for the team coming into this day?
Shout out energy, have fun, meta. That's what we're thinking the whole time.
That's what it is, and it looks like you're killing. Like you are having fun up here right now. Is like, are you kind of the amp up guy for the team? Is it getting them going?
Yeah, I just get the team hype. You know what I'm saying? Get them riled up.
That's awesome. Hey, just first time up on the stage here now for this next major. Anything to shout out to the audience right now? Because they're killing it.
Yeah, shout out to the audience. I heard y'all even when I put on, I have like 2 white noise things. I still heard them. The fans are crazy, and I don't even know what to say, bro. Shout out y'all.
You guys are killing it, and we love you too at home. We got a lot more Rocket League coming.